All right, people. You guys are tuning in and or watching or listening to another Nomadic whole video. This is the Nomadic News. That's right, people. This is the Nomadic News. Episode 19. I know I've been away from the cameras for a little bit. I've been pretty busy recently, so I apologize for making you guys wait. I wanted to do this pop-up, little last-minute Nomadic News episode for you guys, and to keep you guys updated, because this shit is for your entertainment and your information. So go ahead, if you haven't already, give this a good old-fashioned like, comment, share, and of course subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it here on the Nomadic News and the Nomadic Cold channel. So I'm gonna get some water real quick while we wait for the lobby to fill up and get some people actually watching the video. Hopefully people will see it. I will try to share it to my Discord as well before anything crazy happens. The internet can be a little bit slow though, especially when you're live streaming, so you never know. You never know. Walking down here. There's Dr. Doge Lord. All right. That's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and I didn't want to put that one in. Wrong link. You don't want to give people the wrong link, people. You don't want to give them the wrong link. Here's the live stream link. Might be a little bit of a double playback sound. Wow. All right. Back on here. One viewer, that was just me on the other tab. Just so that people know. The one link viewer is was just me on another tab. Well, hopefully some of these people tune in soon, but I'm gonna get some water real quick while we wait for those lobbies to fill up. Good old-fashioned, high-quality H2O, you know what I mean? Still waiting in the lobby, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know why. Like the. I mean, I guess I get it. I kind of did this thing last second, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But like, come on, man. Like, really? Hopefully someone will join at some point, or people will just watch it after the fact, like they did last time. Like, a few people watched it after, which was pretty cool. So, maybe a few more seconds, and then we'll get on with the show. We'll get on with the show already. Bit of a slow start with today's stream. Sorry, guys. Well, let's start off with the news, shall we? Let's get it out of the way. Okay. So, firstly, today, the weather right now has actually been surprisingly dry for September. It's a hot one today. Like, really, I'm kind of sweating a little bit in this jacket. So I don't know about you, but it's been a dry September so far, and it's getting really hot. It really makes you think. Like, you wonder why it is getting so hot, and you think, well, it's probably all the pollutants in the air and stuff. And all the chopping down of all these trees happening recently. They're not able to produce as much carbon dioxide, or not produce. They're not able to produce as much oxygen and intake as much carbon dioxide from the atmosphere because they keep chopping down all these trees. I mean, I seen the other day they chopped down like a whole lot of trees down in the town. So it kind of makes you think that might be part of the reason why, and also all the chemicals these factories in Asia are pumping out into the atmosphere also have quite the effect on it as well. So yeah, that's what it is right now for the weather. That over here it is pretty hot. Let me know how you guys feel about your guys' local weather down below in the comment section. If you're in the chat, you can also use this chat over here that I have, and your name and your channel name essentially on YouTube will pop up here in the corner. So go ahead and let us know here at the Nomadic Cole YouTube channel how the weather is in your local area. Next thing I want to get out of the way is this Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree fight. We have an upcoming UFC event on October 5th. It's going to be an amazing fight. I'm excited because you saw what Alex Pereira did last time. He was very impressive. Sorry, just got a quick text message from one of my friends. But yeah, we saw what happened last time on the UFC fight with Alex Pereira. He got a really, really nice win. He beat Yuri Prochazka by a head kick TKO in round number 2. It was intense. It was amazing. So you wonder what he's going to do to Khalil Roundtree. That's the main event, light heavyweight championship fight for the upcoming UFC. So mark your calendars. Also, this is going to be a bigger event, by the way. Jose Aldo fights Mario Bautista. Gonna be an interesting battle for sure. And also, we're going to see Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. That one should be interesting to look into as well. So again, mark your calendars. UFC 5. Well, not UFC 5. UFC 307 on October 5th. The heck was that? Anyways, other than the UFC recently, there's also been, of course, NFL football. Ladies and gentlemen, NFL football has happened recently. Here's some of the scores from the other day. Lions beat the Seahawks 42-29. Titans beat the Dolphins 31-12. Ravens beat the Bills 35-10. The Raiders beat the Browns 20-16. The Chiefs beat the Chargers 17-10. The Washington Commanders beat the Cardinals 42-14. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great, interesting week for football there. Lots of great games were played on Thursday, including this Lions-Seahawks game, probably one of my favorite games. And I'm watching the Commanders blow out the Cardinals was crazy. And I mean, we kind of expected the Titans was going to beat the Dolphins, and Mason Rudolph seems to be an interesting addition for their team as well. And guys, let me know how you guys feel about this lo-fi music over here. It's really cool. Leave a like for lo-fi. Leave a like for lo-fi. Now, I wanted to get into some other topics as well for this Nomadic news. The other thing is, I believe it is the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight still. Mike Tyson, they're having the fight still moved back. November 15th is the date. Hope it's going to be on Netflix. So yeah, leave a comment down below who you guys think will win. Will be Mike Tyson or Jake Paul. That's going to be an insane fight on November the 15th. It's 10 days after the election, by the way, guys. 10 days after the U.S. election. All right, let's talk about some other events that happened recently. For more weather, Hurricane Helen had absolutely rocked the South recently, guys. Guys, put an F in the chat for the victims of Hurricane Helen. Hundreds are dead. That hurricane was a Category 4, and it was so powerful and so strong, it destroyed a giant path through the South, through Florida and Georgia and North Carolina and South Carolina. It took out so many houses, guys. It's so sad to see what happened. And what's even worse is Joe Biden won't do anything about it. He says that him being on a phone call for 2 hours from the beach is how he's going to govern. Is this really who you want? A guy who wants to, is that really who you want governing? I don't know, man. I don't know. But guys, rip to the people who died at Hurricane Helen, because even the survivors, man, they're going through a lot. It's a tough time for them, guys. It's a tough time. More recently, we had gone through some hurricanes here where I'm at as well. We had a large tropical storm hit the local area a couple weeks ago. Did some damage too. Took out our power grid. It was a little iffy for a bit. Certainly a little iffy. Let's talk about Kamala Harris and her getting an endorsement from Taylor Swift, apparently. That's right, guys. Kamala Harris is getting an endorsement from Taylor Swift. And here's my thoughts on it. I mean, I expected it. Really, I expected that Taylor Swift was going to try to interfere herself with the election somehow. And an endorsement was what I thought would happen. Look, Taylor Swift is crazy, okay? Anybody who trusts Taylor Swift for a second, like if you legitimately think that you're gonna vote for Kamala Harris just because Taylor Swift says so, is so stupid. Like that is the worst way to fucking vote. Like Taylor Swift is not gonna get affected by any of the policies, people. Taylor Swift is a rich, spoiled brat, millionaire, billionaire girl. She's filthy rich. She goes and hangs out at the football games all the time with Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs. And she sings her stupid, silly pop songs that sound like garbage that are made with 2 chords. Open chords, by the way. Open chords on a piano. And her little auto-tune. And that is the person that you are going to let influence your vote? Are you shitting me? Are you kidding me? Why would somebody do that? It just seems dumb to me, Skip. It just seems dumb. But apparently, there's a lot of dumb people who vote. There's a lot of bots. There's morons. There's goofballs. There's wingnuts. There's knuckle-headed expanditrons. I mean, come on, guys. There's a lot of dumb people that are going to be voting. And apparently, after Taylor Swift did this endorsement, 300,000 people signed up to vote. Wow. But they did some internal polling on Taylor Swift, and guess what they found out? Only 9% of Taylor Swift's fan base is ecstatic to vote for Kamala Harris in November. 72% of her fan base doesn't care either way. Heads up, mostly because most of that fan base is made up of little kids who can't even vote yet. And guess what? 13% of Taylor Swift's fan base hates it. Not to mention all the international fans as well who can't vote. But guess what? It's not going to be enough to really do damage. And just because people have signed up to vote doesn't mean all of them registered as Democrats. I mean, geez, that 13% said they hated the endorsement. So maybe they, some of that 13% registered to vote so they can vote for Donald Trump. Seems only logical. So what do you guys think of the Kamala Harris endorsement? Let me know down in the chat. YouTube hype bot. That's what we need. We need a hype bot. Oh, we got it twice. YouTube hype bot. Next, we're going to talk about what has been going on with the Donald Trump and Kennedy situation. That's right. We're going to get to that part of the video. So, guys, interesting news has happened recently. Kennedy Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard are on the cabinet position for Donald Trump. This is exciting news. This is exciting news. But not only that, there's evidence to show. Like, you see these moves being made. They're actually going out and doing all these rallies. They're talking to all these people, telling them, hey, we need to rescue the Republic. And so what's going on right now is the Make America Great Again movement and the MAHA movement, the Make America Healthy Again movement, have combined and now are a force to be reckoned with. And recently, just a couple days ago, we've had Brett Weinstein's Rescue the Republic, ladies and gentlemen. Rescue the Republic happened just a couple days ago, and this was a big event. It was hyped up to be like Woodstock. I would say it was not a Woodstock. It wasn't as impressive as Woodstock was. It wasn't the greatest thing since sliced bread. It wasn't as much as Brett Weinstein was like hyping it up to be, but it was a good, solid, strong rally that helped to unite Americans. And they had all sorts of speeches here. I mean, they had Rob Schneider, Colonel Douglas MacArthur. McGregor. I apologize. Colonel Douglas McGregor, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Jordan Peterson was there. Who else was there? Brett Weinstein, of course, was there. Jimmy Dore was there. I mean, it was an epic thing. Russell Brand was there as well. It was Struggle Jennings, Tennessee Jet. Skillet was there. It was an interesting event. They had some solid people up there on stage, and here's just a little bit of a snippet of it, because this is basically the message they were trying to send to the people. This is the message they were trying to send. Essentially in one of speeches, but they did cover a wide range of topics. By the way, before we start, they did cover a wide range of topics, including healthcare reform, and there was the loss of or the rapid secularization of society, which tends to happen a lot when empires begin to start to collapse. We saw it with the Roman Empire. Not to say that secularism is necessarily a bad thing, but rapid secularization really quickly means that people are losing faith in institutions, essentially. And then when people start to just go bonkers off the walls without any sort of moral guidance or anything, they're easily manipulated to do things that they may or may not, may or may not be normally considered moral in the society. So that was some of the other stuff that was talked about inside of here. They talked a lot about free speech, but one of the main parts they hit was the Forever Wars, and this is what I wanted to highlight on as well.
Coming to the stage now is a decorated combat veteran. He wants to stop our forever wars. Do you want to stop our forever wars? Please welcome the CEO of our country, our choice, Colonel Douglas McGregor.
You got a job with the World Wrestling Federation. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, this guy, Rob Schneider, is a real animal. If you haven't noticed, he is. Okay, I only have a short message for you. As you and I are meeting here today, thousands and thousands of soldiers from the regular army and the National Guard are deploying to the Middle East. They're preparing to fight a war against Iran. a country which has never attacked us, with whom we have no grief, no grievance. At the same time, we have 100,000+ American soldiers lining the border of Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, all the way down to Romania, preparing to potentially fight Russia. This insanity is costing us not just trillions of dollars, it's destroying our country. How many trillions have we lost on this proposition? How many hospitals could we have built? How many schools could we have improved? How many roads and bridges could we have repaired? And how many Americans would be alive and well and safe today if we hadn't? So what I want you to remember is a very simple formula. War breeds tyranny, corruption, and destruction. Peace is the foundation for prosperity and goodwill around the world. That's what we need. No more wars. Now, before you leave here, remember, you got to go out and vote. And you need to vote for peace, not war, for prosperity, not poverty. Remember, the people that have put us into debt, they're not the ones who bear the burden. We are. The people that have put us into debt are fat and rich and corrupt. We got to get rid of them. You've got to do that. Thank you.
All right, so that was Colonel Douglas McGregor right there. He was speaking. Amazing job, amazing speech right there. It was a really nice little short, concise speech, but I think he did a great job. If you haven't already, check out that Rescue the Republic rally, and they've got hours of footage of it up on YouTube. They also got it on Rumble as well. Check it out if you haven't already. And guys, to lead into the next point, what Douglas McGregor was talking about there was war with Iran. Unfortunately, Iran has just dropped multiple missiles on Israel, and Israel is now lashing out against Hezbollah in Lebanon. They've already just completely decimated Gaza, essentially. They're moving on from Gaza. They've decimated it. They've leveled it. The people are just, thousands are dead. Hundreds of thousands are homeless. It's insane. It's a terrible situation, no matter which way you look at it. And now we already know for weeks and weeks, McGregor was warning about that on his channel, saying that, hey, the U.S. soldiers, they're being deployed out to the Middle East right now. And they want the U.S. to be involved in a war with Israel and Iran and multiple other countries, most likely. And it's a scary proposition, but it might be looking a lot like a World War III situation if we don't get any change soon. And that's why in November we just gotta vote. We just gotta vote. Vote your conscience, guys. Vote for what you guys think is right. Leave a comment who you guys are voting for in the chat below, by the way. And guys, let's move on to our last point for the evening. Let's talk about the upcoming vice presidential debate. Governor Tim Walz versus J.D. Vance. And this is going to be a decisive debate for the election. I mean, let's just be real. This is going to be the last debate before the election happens. And if either one of them slips up, it's the end of the other's campaign. J.D. Vance, I'm not a fan of him. Okay, I can be honest with you guys and tell you Yes, I'm a fan of Tulsi Gabbard. I'm a fan of RFK Jr. I'm not a fan of JD Vance. Am I going to vote for Trump? Well, my choice is Trump at this point, because my choice to vote for RFK Jr. was taken away by 5 guys in a Zoom meeting without any of we the people's consent. I suggested doing a petition, and the people said no. We're gonna vote for Donald Trump or maybe Chase Oliver. So, because it's too late at this point. So that's what's going to happen. It's too late, and it's going to confuse people too much. So he's going to be off the ballot. So yes, I'm going to have to vote for Trump. I'm going to hold my nose and vote for Trump. Joe Rogan's on board. RFK Jr. seems like he's going to be getting a cabinet position of some sort. It's very likely. He's already on the presidential transition team. So yes, I will vote for Trump, but I'm not a JD Vance fan. I think he's kind of weird. I think he's generic. I think he's a flip-flopper. I think he's a yes man. I think he really is nothing more than a talking head who parrots, the conservative talking points. I think he's been extreme on a lot of issues. He's even more extreme than Donald Trump on some of the issues. He said stuff about banning adult pornography. Like, it was crazy. The guy also genuinely isn't a good guy. He started his campaign, as I've explained before, off by literally scamming people, essentially, by making them think they were donating to a nonprofit. And then he's kicked off his Senate run. Like, he's not a great guy. He also works for the Heritage Foundation. And they've created Project 2025. And when you look at JD Vance, you're like, why is he the fucking vice president? Might be the biggest blunder of Trump's campaign to have JD Vance be the vice president. And Tim Walz is actually exactly the opposite for Kamala Harris, it seems. It seems like Tim Walz is a slightly better choice that she could have chosen, because Tim Walz appeals to the Midwestern guy. Tim Walz is the Democrat Party. They love their old white guys. They love Joe Biden's. They love like a Chuck Schumer. They love people like that. And Tim Walz kind of fits that. Tim Walz is literally the way he conducts his rallies, when he talks to people, he brings up his prior military service as in the National Guard, and he comes off to voters, when he does rallies, especially when he was a governor, he tried to come off to voters as this sort of, I just want to grill and watch football type of old guy, Yes, he's fucking Tampon Tim. He's not. He's really, his policy is atrocious. But Tim Walz is going to play more to that NPC voter, if you know what I mean. And that's who watches and is completely swayed by these debates, is going to be the NPC voter who doesn't really have a spine or an opinion and is just, I just want to watch football and grill and use my TikToks. That is the type of voter that Tim Walz appeals to. So JD Vance has to be very careful. Can't look like a weirdo. Can't bring up couches, obviously, because otherwise they'll meme him to a fucking oblivion. Can't talk about Haitians eating dogs like Trump did, and ended up causing that last debate to essentially be a draw because both of them got their quips in. I think I mentioned it last time. And it really didn't change anyone in the public's mind of anything, really. I mean, they didn't even talk about much actual policy. Both of them just tried to insult each other, essentially. And, JD Vance can't fall in the trap of trying to play into Tim Walz, especially since Tim Walz has shown that, hey, he can do a quick quip. He can take a jab at JD Vance and his couch thing that didn't actually happen. but it's a meme now, and now everyone thinks it's real. Can't fall into that trap. Can't get roasted. He has to be he is a charisma vacuum, so he has to be the charisma vacuum. Suck the fucking life out of the debate. Focus on the talking points in the policy, and you might just come out of it looking like the smarter guy who filibustered instead. You might come out like that. But you have to, he has to actually play his part. And I've seen some rallies where he's starting to do that, but it's, you never know. Some days you get a JD Vance at a rally who sounds like he just sounds like a guy who served his country, and he's a Midwestern guy. Like, sometimes you get that sort of upstanding citizen talk that he tries to do, and he just repeats the border, we need to close the border, like he repeats that, hammers away on immigration, hammers away on the economy. And then other times you get, socially awkward JD Vance. I'm in the donut shop. Good, you worked here 2 years. Yeah, just give me whatever makes sense here. Like he's never ordered donuts before, which just makes him like, voters don't really look at him and be like, this is the average guy. People look at him and be like, no, this guy is a fucking tycoon and a yes man, and he's just another suit and a tie. So that's what you have to really worry about coming into this debate. But what do you guys think? Who do you guys think will win the debate? Will it be JD Vance or Tim Walz? Leave a comment down below. Who you guys think will win? Well, anyways, that's just about all I've had to talk about today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for tuning into Nomadic News. I know most of you guys will probably just tune in after the fact. It's the middle of the afternoon and it's a work day week, so kind of makes sense that we didn't get really anybody in the chat. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry for